Well, hello, boys and girls. It's when we feel like 8 o'clock. It's when I feel like 8 o'clock. I want to do this with B, but he's enjoying time with his family in this coronavirus atmosphere that we are embedded in. And good for him. Good for him. That's awesome. You know, he's a hardworking guy. He's doing this and he was working night shift and everything, and he's taking some time with his family, and that rocks. By the way, I'm Pearl of Wisdom. Yeah, I don't have my namaste up because I sent it to 4 guys cleaning, so they came to my house and like they were all masked up and I had to put the cup in like a container and like to put gloves on it, give it to them, and they took it away just like that. They took it away. So, anyways. Through all this time, we don't have any gambling stuff to do, but I was going to talk about it. And I do believe that the season's going to start. I don't think this coronavirus stuff is going to be as long as people are saying. There's an over-under right now of July. I take the under July. I think we'll be back before July. There's already people being tested for vaccinations and all that. But more than that, they had to scare the shit out of people to keep people home because there's a lot of unhealthy people out there. And if they get the virus, they will die. And we don't have enough hospitals anymore. Back in the 80s, we had tons of hospitals. And stuff like this would happen. Not just hospitals, but people weren't as sick. Why is it? Maybe I'll do a video on another channel about that. But anyways, I want to talk about what our betting systems are going to be now when hockey starts up again. What are the advantages and disadvantages of this happening, and where should our leans go? Where should we be looking at? And you put down in the comment section what you think about this. Like maybe you have some ideas that I haven't come up with yet. But I think there are going to be a lot of advantages for a lot of teams. First of all, they're talking about 24 team playoffs. So teams like Chicago and stuff will do a small mini tournament, and because it's not fair that they could have, I suppose, made it into the playoffs. And they got a point. They got a point. If I was their team, I'd be doing the same thing. You'd want some sort of, advantage out of all of this because you could have made the playoffs. So that's something that may happen. But here's a few things that we can look at when the league starts up again, and whether it's regular season or I think that they're probably going to be doing if it starts in July, they may play the games, but I have a feeling that they're just going to go to a playoff system. And some things that we can look at. Goaltenders with layoffs. First of all, there's 2 things to look at with goaltenders and layoffs. Can we find goaltenders that have produced well after a layoff? And I can think of one right off the top of my head. Darcy Kemper just went off a pretty big layoff. And he came back, didn't look like he missed a beat. Unbelievable. Showing extremely well. Francouz played a lot of hockey. This is not about a layoff, but can he come back at the same level that he was before, what he was going at? It's really unfortunate for him. He seemed to be getting on a roll. However, there's a question mark with Francouz because we don't have a big window of work to say that that's what he's going to be the whole time. I'm leaning that he probably is. But that's going to be interesting to watch. But anyways, what I'm saying about this, first of all, there's that. There's a few goaltenders that seems that after a long layoff, doesn't really affect them. And there's some great goaltenders where it seems after a long layoff, it does affect them. Like Marc-Andre Fleury, for instance. We haven't, now Price seems to come back great. I don't know if Montreal's going to be in. He doesn't seem to be affected too much by long layoffs. You're looking at top teams like Rask. He did not do well after a long layoff. So that's going to be something to take into consideration. Most goaltenders don't. And the ones I named, I think, are ones that, like, it doesn't seem like Holtby would be somebody you would want to put your money on with after a long layoff. But what I'm saying, one of the things we can look at this as well is that there's probably going to be a lot of overs. Goaltenders simply quite often need to get back into sync again. There is almost like an internal algorithm that has to come back again. Everything is timing. Everything is, it's not like riding a bike, I guess they would say. Usually most goaltenders take a while to get back into the groove again, especially after a long layoff. So one thing we'll be looking at probably is more overs than usual in the playoffs, especially in the early rounds. Another thing that we'll be looking at is the injury situation. Now, you're going to have Colorado coming back fully healthy. You're going to have St. Louis is going to be coming back fully healthy. They have a lot of significant injuries there. And for some reason, I always forget the name of that freaking guy that's been injured all year, the Russian dude. Jeez, you think I did a little bit of homework on this, wouldn't you? It'll probably come to me by the end of the video. But he's huge for them. So you have teams that are going to come back healthy. Everybody's going to be healthy. Now, here's something a lot of people don't consider with that. Columbus Blue Jackets. When you're talking about healthy, the team I would really watch out for now is the Columbus Blue Jackets, because they started to fade as the year went on because they were using players that hadn't played this type of hockey for this long before. They were using college kids in Brenstrom, young kids, and winning. Merzlikins came out strong and then started to fade after playing in an NHL environment. It's taxing and it takes time to learn how to do that. How to get your body to that in mental state, in the space to be able to play that kind of hockey for 82 games. So that's, I'm saying that a team like Columbus Blue Jackets now, being healthy again, can possibly go back to the old, not that old, but I mean, to the form they were at before they went into that, through that little bit of a lull. Because these young guys, again, are going to be back to being revigorated. Is that a word? You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. And you have a great coach with Tortorella that can do what we've already seen them do. So that's... But then you have a good example there of goaltenders that don't seem to didn't come back very well after a long layoff. Korpisalo didn't come back very well after a long layoff. Before I move on here, I have to do something, because I haven't been doing these videos very much for the obvious reasons. And I was going to look through and just pick people out, but no, I'm not. This is for all my Patreon subscribers and YouTube subscribers, and both and everything. We haven't had this for a while, have we? No. You're probably pretty dry. You're looking a little dry. You're looking a little dry around the, right in, you're getting, so you're running low. And these are endless, right? You can't get over to a store to get some pearls, so here you go. There you go. Here's some more. Got a little closer that time. Makes it different. So there's your pearls, all of you. Oh, look at Randy's doing. He's freaking loving it, Randy K. Oh, Joe Johnson, Tahoob, Puel, Mara. Wow, Karen Zelansky. Karen Zelansky's. Oh yeah, you were really dry, weren't you? She's just like soaking her right up. There you go. Anyways, you soak those in. Helps with the corona. Does. That's why I don't have it. Because I swim in pearls every day. People don't know that. Like, you could have solved the world. Could have solved the world. I told you, we're solving the world problems here. Right? People don't. You go tell the world. Pearls. Pearls is what you need. No more coronavirus for us there, people. So anyways, that was some of the things I wanted to look at for the upcoming new regular season. It's going to even the playing field. All the teams are coming in with a form of rust one way or another. Every player is different. Some people, there's a few things that I would look towards. If you're looking towards futures now, I'd be looking towards great coaches. I think it would be smart to put a little bit of money on any team that Tortorella is coaching. Under any circumstance, if you have Tortorella coaching your team, especially when you're going through unusual circumstances like this, I'll put my money on him. I would normally say the same with Trotz, but I really, there's another example. New York Islanders could come back just like they were before. They had some people on their team. I think they had some people playing on their defense that, again, were not used to this type of season. They had a fairly young defense there. And forwards, maybe. It's actually really kind of hard to put my finger on what happened with the New York Islanders, except for the fact that they never should have been in the playoffs in the first place. The defense they had was never that good. And I think people just picked away at it, honestly. I mean, you can be a great coach all you want, but eventually a poor roster is going to catch up to you. That's what happened with Tortorella at Columbus. Fortunately for him, this has happened. I think Columbus probably gets the most advantage out of all of this. And any other team that has young players, maybe Colorado, because now Rantanen will be back. Burakovsky will be back. Kadri may be back. They have a full roster. That is going to be one hell of a team to beat. And they're very well coached. Bednar is a fantastic coach. He is probably going to be up there, considered in the very near future, next 5 years, as one of the greats, like Trotz and Tortorella and those guys. I imagine he's got a Coach of the Year under his belt. A few things to think about, too. I've been thinking a lot about Washington with Reardon as their coach. And I've been slagging him a little bit, saying I don't think he's going to be a coach next year. However, there is something that some coaches do, and this may be happening now. What they'll do is they will do things to create derision in the room or problems. So the regular season isn't as easy as it could be. It's because in the playoffs, you're going to have to deal with adversity. And some coaches will actually create adversity on purpose to have their team be able to get over adversities during the regular season. I get the sense that maybe Cooper might be doing something like that with Tampa Bay as well. Tortorella certainly does it. Most of the great coaches do it. So I'm going to hold off on Mr. Reardon. I know you're watching. Mr. Todd Reardon. And you've been getting all kind of fiery about the things I've been saying. So here you go, Mr. Reardon. Here's some pearls for you, too. There you go. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay, Mr. Reardon. I know I haven't been nice to you, but I love you anyways. I'm just not sure if you're a great coach or not. Anyways, That's all I get better say today, because it's 15 minutes and most people aren't watching this shit. So. Have a great day. Oh, go over to the Patreon. No, never mind now. There's no hockey. So have a great day. Lots of love to you.